Heck it. I guess we're covering Tim Pool now. So if you haven't seen Hazbin Hotel, probably going to spoil a little bit of Hazbin Hotel for you, because this is Tim Pool complaining about Hazbin Hotel. We're going to go ahead and increase his playback speed just a bit because it is a longer video. Let's see what he has to say.
So there's a new show coming out on Amazon called Hazbin Hotel, and I've watched some of the materials. I've watched a little bit of the pilot episode. It's got 92 million views on YouTube, and it's generating some buzz.
He's watched a little bit of the pilot episode. He couldn't actually be farked to watch, like, the entirety of the episode. I mean, yeah, it's a 30-minute episode, but that's the length of a episode of television. So you're not going to watch the episode of television before talking about the episode of television? Weird.
Buzz, because more religious individuals, I'm not saying every single person, but there's some controversy around the premise of the show. That is to say, the show venerates demons. It actually uses a premise based in religious Abrahamic biblical teachings, corrupts them, as a lot of modern things do, and basically creates this premise where Lucifer was a playful trickster who was thrown out of heaven because he just wanted to have a good time, but the angels wanted order. So they cast him out, and then, you know, Lucifer goes down to Lilith. Yeah, Lilith, not Eve. Lilith, the first wife of Adam. Lilith, of course, was cast out because she would not listen to the man. That's literally what they say. And then Lucifer's like, here's knowledge.
Is that literally what they say? I don't remember that being literally what is said in the first episode of Hazbin, but okay.
And they become demons, and then, you know, heaven's all pissed off. And so the show is, I would say, a corruption of biblical teaching. It's an obvious thing. It's a fictionalized show that uses biblical teaching to create characters, casts many demons in positive lights. But I think we should break down what this show is, because I find all of it...
Why is that a problem? Like, okay, so casting demons in positive lights is only a problem if you're touting your shiny new thing as if it is gospel in and of itself. Like, you are trying to replace, quote, biblical gospel with non-biblical gospel. When you're making a show where the premise is just, hey, we're using these things that exist as a religion, and we are making a fictional universe with them. Like, I'm sorry, but when I played Final Fantasy, and I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, and I wanted to fuck Shiva because she was hot, it didn't occur to me that, oh yeah, that's also a god in other religions' mythoses. It wasn't ever part of the thing that occurred to me. Never was super important. Hot girl got summoned in Final Fantasy VIII, and if you've played that game, you have to summon a lot, because most of the damage you do in that game is based on GF summons. It's weird. I love it, and it's bad.
But very interesting. This show is not generating some kind of mass right-wing controversy or anything like that. There's not a bunch of Christians and Catholics condemning it. There's just some commentary talking about whether it's appropriate for kids, whether it will incidentally attract kids to learn the wrong things about the Bible or create misconceptions. And I think the bigger picture here is that...
Wait, but that is a massive controversy, though. Like, there is no controversy more massive for the Republican conservative mindset than a religious controversy. Like, that is peak controversy for them. Also, yeah, it's not appropriate for kids because it's not made for kids. It's an R-rated show. There is no point in time where Hazbin Hotel was pitched as, this is a good idea for the kiddies. No, this is pitched as a show that is explicitly for adults. Not all cartoons are for kids.
This is popular. It's got 92 million views. The creator on YouTube makes a bunch of these cartoons that are really well made and get tens of millions of hits. And people...
The creator makes a bunch of his cartoons... Vivzy? The known female Vivzy Pop is your him? So you couldn't do any research at all, Tim. You couldn't do even, like, a modicum of research. Is this good for kids? It's an R-rated show, Tim. He makes a lot of things. It's a girl, Tim. Tim, please, I beg of you. An iota of research when you make a video.
People are watching this stuff. So the big takeaway from a show like this that basically, as they say, venerates demons, a lot of movies do, don't get me wrong, I think that the point here is, if you want to counter this and produce content that you think would do good things, you have to make good content, and you can't just sit here and complain about it. You need to push back and win the culture war. Now, I have this tweet here.
How are you... What? You have to push back to win the culture war. So I have a friend of mine, a friend who's in charge of a project that I'm helping work on, and they mentioned that one of the reasons that we're in a wonky place right now politically is because there aren't a lot of ways that politicians can move or fight that is not strictly culture war based right now. Like, that's what we've got. said Adina says this is a very low effort video. Yeah, that's most of Tim's content.
From Kryptos, I found it very interesting because
I like Kryptos. How is this very interesting? It says the propagandists are now actively making movies to promote the veneration of powerful demons. I don't remember where that happens in Hazbin Hotel. The characters just happen to be demons. In this case, Lilith, the patron demon of feminism. Corporations like Amazon and its media arm Prime are working with the devil. They are the anime. They are the enemy, not the anime. Jesus Christ.
The propagandists are now actively making movies to promote the veneration of powerful demons, in this case, Lilith, the patron demon of feminism. Corporations like Amazon and its media arm Prime are working with the devil. They are the enemy. You know, I don't think it's the most important story in the world, but I do think it's rather interesting. What does it mean? Well,
no, it's not. It is neither an important story, nor is it even mildly interesting. Also, I definitely lose this one. That's a lot of tokens. But there's nothing interesting about a Christian getting mad at a show that happens to have demons in it. There's nothing interesting about that whatsoever. That's like, I grew up in Pensacola Christian Academy. I grew up in listening to and dealing with everything was about demons in some way, shape, or form, even if something didn't have demons at all. So, like, let's say that I liked Pokemon as a kid. I did like Pokemon as a kid. Pokemon was demonic, according to my teachers. Why? Yeah, fuck if they knew. Fuck if any of them could actually explain why they're demons, other than the fact that, it says pocket monster, therefore it's demonic. Okay, sure.
Let me play for you the trailer, and I will comment and critique it. But I will start off by saying...
I will comment and critique it. You have no credentials to do either of those things.
Sound of Freedom is not only available on Prime, it is actively promoted on Prime. So I was at was a hotel or something, it might have been an Airbnb, and there was a hotel, and they had Prime available because I've been trying to watch Yu Yu Hakusho anime, and I turned it on, and Sound of Freedom's there, and I'm like, this is awesome. Sound of Freedom actively promoted. I don't think Amazon saw this cartoon.
How is that awesome? Sound of Freedom's literally a movie that tries to pretend that it's more important than it is and doesn't actually talk about trafficking in a meaningful way, as noted by people who have either been trafficked or have been involved in trying to counter trafficking. But okay, sure, yeah, Sound of Freedom was there. That's awesome, I guess.
And thought, ooh, Satan and Lucifer, let's venerate demons. And I think taking this approach is actually going to be detrimental to the right and to those who want to give better messages to young people. For the average person who would find themselves as like atheists or whatever, they're not going to watch this and care at all about it. But I will say this, Christianity is having a hard go of it when shows like this misrepresent what the Bible's actually trying to teach people. And this will be the basis by which many people...
How is it misrepresent? It literally just uses the characters of the Bible as characters. They are foundations to be built on and warped. So yeah, Hercules misrepresents Greek mythology. It does. Who gives this shit? I barely know any pagans who have this kind of opinion when it comes to something like Hercules. They'll go, yeah, that's maybe not the best representation of our faith. And that's about as far as they go or get. Because it's not that important. Kids are not going to have their first learning of the Bible being from Hazbin Hotel, because kids should not be watching Hazbin Hotel. But you would know that, Tim, if you looked at the rating. He does make a good point, at the very least, about how it's not actually like promoting the devil or any of that, because the big conservative movie is also featured on Prime, so at least there's that.
Form their beliefs around these religions. I hear these complaints a lot, or conspiracy theories. They say that the Hollywood and the government, it's a conspiracy theory, by the way. They say Men in Black, for instance. They make these movies so that if you ever tried to actually tell someone that it happened, they wouldn't believe you. Let me give you a better example. After 9/11, there were people who reported that they were like lying in a, I think one person said they were lying in a hospital bed after being injured. They had witnessed things, and Men in Black showed up and told them they saw nothing and to shut it. And of course, the Men in Black doesn't mean alien fighting superstars. It meant guys in suits from an undisclosed intelligence agency were saying, don't repeat what you saw for national security reasons. And of course, they could just be FBI. It could be Pentagon intelligence. Men in Black doesn't mean aliens or anything like this, but the conspiracy theory goes, they make a movie called Men in Black, because then, when you say some Men in Black showed up and threatened me, they go, oh, geez, you're a nut job. That was a movie. Okay, so maybe, I don't know, whatever, but that's the general conspiracy theory. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying some people claim these things. Now, let's play this trailer, and I'm sure a lot of Christians will get angry about it, and I think so, because the way it misrepresents the biblical teachings. Let's play.
Once upon a time, there was a glowing city protected by golden gates, known as heaven. It was ruled by beings of pure light, angels that worshipped good and shielded all from evil. Lucifer was one of these angels. He was a dreamer with fantastical ideas for all of creation, but he was seen as a troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world.
Okay.
So he watched as the angels began to expand the universe in their ways. From the dust of earth, they created Adam and Lilith.
Okay, so I'll pause right there, and we'll talk about why people are upset first. The angels did not create Adam and Lilith, and certainly Lilith.
Yeah, because it's a Tim! Because it's a show! It's not trying to teach you the Bible, Tim! It's a TV show! Trying to have fun with a premise. That, of course it's going to be different, Tim! What? Like, he just has to sit here and explain, this is not what it says in the Bible, because my audience needs me to do that. No, Tim, it doesn't matter.
I don't even believe is actually a part of biblical teachings, but I'm not some religious expert. But the point here is, right off the bat, the trailer is basically saying the established order is not all good, and trying to keep out this person's ideas. Oh, how could they? The general idea that we've been seeing from the modern left is that the established order should be broken and destroyed. Now, I'm all for reform. You know, if some dude is throwing fireworks around or whatever, there may be a reason why the angels did not like what he was doing, because he's throwing fireworks at people or throwing them in the air. It's like, dude, chill, man. I'd like to point this out.
You know that's Tim. How fucking stupid is Tim? What? Tim. He's not literally shooting fireworks out of his hand. This is all done. This is done as metaphor. The whole beginning thing here, the reason everybody's in silhouette, the reason that they're shooting it this way, is because this super simplified state lets us fill in the blanks of what happened in our head. Tim, what the hell, dude? Why are you like this? Also, I think I die here. I'm fairly certain I die here. Yeah, I didn't have enough black mana. I die here. But so Tim, the story is meant to be from Hellborn perspective. Yeah, it's not just from the perspective of people who were born in hell. It's also it can be whatever it wants to be with its story, because it's not trying to tell you the Bible but different. It's going, here is a fictional setting with characters who have similar backstories to the ones in the Bible. Similar. Not one-to-one. It's not a fucking educational bit of material.
As they say, he was a dreamer.
With fantastical ideas for all of creation.
And you see him throw fireworks into the air, and he's smiling and laughing.
Yeah, he's not literally throwing fireworks. It's literally just showing, here's a thing a creative guy does. Fill in the blank on what creative guy does.
Fireworks are beautiful. They can be great. But let's take this literally. The angels are like, dude, stop throwing fireworks! And he's like, oh, but they're pretty. It's like, okay, yeah, well, you get my point. I'm kind of being a dick, but let's play more.
He was seen as a
You're not just being a dick, you're being wrong.
Troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world.
Yeah, the order.
So he watched as the angels
Perhaps
began to
fireworks
expand the
exploding to
universe
disrupt
in their ways. From the dust of earth, they created Adam and Lilith.
Frickin' literally literalist brain rot. This is brain rot of a high caliber. Tim, not everything you see that is being literally shown to you is literally happening. That's why they're shown in silhouette as a backstory thing. But okay, I'm stuck on this point.
Equals as the first of mankind, but despite this, Adam demanded control, and Lilith refused to submit to his will. She fled the garden. Drawn in by her fierce independence, Lucifer found her, and the two rebellious dreamers fell deeply in love. Together, they wished to share the magic of free will with humanity, offering the fruit of knowledge to Adam's new bride, Eve, who gladly accepted. But this gift came with a curse, for with this single act of disobedience, evil finally found its way into Earth. With it, a new realm of darkness and sin, and the order heaven had worked to maintain was shattered.
Okay, so, again, we're not trying to teach the Bible specifically, so there's nothing really wrong that's been shown so far. Not really. Please let me play Shattered Sanctum. I beg of thee. Thank you.
I want to pause right there. I think it's actually interesting. I don't think this show is intended to insult or deride or even get things wrong. I do think it's funny that it's like, Adam demanded Lilith, adhere, follow the man, but she was a fierce, independent woman.
What? Dude, if you watch the actual show, Adam's a fucking dick who talks about his love for genocide and how much he likes fucking bitches. It's not, oh my god, she's a woman, therefore she's independent. No, Tim, you fucking troglodyte. That's not what's happening. Literally, Adam is shown to be the original dick in multiple ways.
Okay. But they point out the actions undertaken by Lilith and Lucifer brought evil into the world, destroying order. Not good.
Punishment for their reckless act, heaven cast Lucifer and his love into the dark pit he had created, never allowing him to see the good that came from humanity, only the cruel and the wicked. Ashamed, Lucifer lost his will to dream, but Lilith thrived, empowering demonkind with her voice and her songs, and as the numbers of hell grew, so did
She's a literal demon.
its power. Threatened by this, heaven made a truly heartless decision.
Who cares?
That every year they would send down an army, an extermination, to ensure hell and its sinners could never rise against them. But Lilith's hope remained, and her dream was passed down to their precious daughter, the Princess of Hell. Don't worry, Mom. I'll make you proud.
And so basically the premise of the show is that...
Which seems to be the only thing that you've watched about the show.
The premise of the show is that she's trying to reform all of these sinners so that they will not be exterminated by heaven. And there's a lot there. There's a lot there in that premise that has people upset. But there are some really funny posts that I can read about this. So the first thing I want to say, when I saw a post like this, and I see people talking about this new show, it's coming out, I think, tomorrow, my first response is, yeah, I don't care all that much. You want to make a show where you've got, like...
But you care enough to make a video about it because you know that you've got a group of people who watch your show that are freaking out about it that you're going to get easy clicks from.
A Satan-worshipping feminist or whatever. I'm not saying that's what the show is, but you want to do that, like, okay, fine, I'm not going to watch it. But you pop over to their YouTube channel, and certainly a lot of people do. This creator on YouTube, massively popular, with 1 billion views, 9 million subs, making cartoons that get tens of millions of views. And for the most part, I'd say it all looks legit. You know, this is a popular, prominent person who's producing content that people want to watch. You want to win? Complaining about it ain't gonna do nothing for you. You gotta make better content. That's really it. It's an influence war. Right now, you have Prime Video launching.
Hazbin Hotel is not part of a fucking influence war, you dumb shit. It's just a fictional show. Dear God, these people have... This is why I don't like doing as much political content. I can't with these people. I cannot... These are not normal human beings. These are not normal human beings anymore. These are people who are so... They are so brain-rotted by the idea of fighting other people on a different side of a political aisle that the only frame of reference they have for anything anymore in their entire life is, what does this look like in terms of the culture war? It doesn't look like shit in terms of the culture war, Tim. It's just a fucking cartoon. Nah, we're done. We're done with Tim. I can't anymore. There's 12 more minutes of listening to him be an immediate illiterate twat. I cannot listen to 12 more minutes of Tim Pool being a media illiterate twat. I just can't. It is not in me. I don't have the care. I don't have the spoons. He is not worth my time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's Tim Fool being a dimple. Instant end of video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie-chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.